Hello and welcome to Out of Bounds. We have been having some technical difficulties with the internet, but I think we're back and ready to go. So right now, waiting on the Lakers live post game. So as soon as they go live, then we're going to be able to dive into some questions, ask some coaches some questions, some players some questions, and also if you have some questions that you want to get answered, um, one lucky person might get picked to get those questions asked. So don't forget to notate those in the comment section. Again, this is with Corey Harrison. We're diving into tonight's game with the Lakers and the Toronto Raptors. Big game tonight. They did let Toronto get back into it. It looks like it's wrapping up now. Toronto was able to pull back within 9. At one point, the Lakers was up by 34 points. And one of my questions is going to be geared towards the big lead and how it was able to get down close to 9 points with the closing of the game. So that's going to be one of my first questions that I'm going to ask. But just diving into some of this box score, um, Kuzma, starting with Kyle Kuzma, he's one of the Lakers that I kind of whenever AD and LeBron is out because we know what he can do scoring the basketball, but he was only able to produce 8 points in 35 minutes. He was 3 of 13 from the field. Definitely disappeared in this game. Markieff Morris chipped in with 15 points. You had Marcus Gasol had 13. Uh, Contagious Caldwell Pope, he had 13 as well. It bounced, but it just all right, we're back. We do apologize for the connectivity issues. We're having some problems with the internet here. Hopefully, we're able to get to this live post game with the Lakers. Let me try to see if I can share my screen.
We're ready when you're ready, Tanisha.
All right, we'll start off with Mike Trudell.
Hey, Trez, did you get an explanation on the court there from the officials after the ejection?
Nah, I didn't. I don't even think they really knew who was ejected at first, because when it first came out, they said it was Dennis, and when they came out to talk, it was me. So, nah, I really didn't get any explanation.
Yeah, so how do you process that, right, as you have to run out to the locker room?
I don't think anything wrong I did. My teammate committed a foul. He held the guy up, so he didn't hurt himself, and the guy reacted by sweeping his leg from up under him and dropping him. That's uncalled for. And I went over there to defend my teammates just like I would do any other time, just like I would do any other player, or if it was to happen over again, man. That's not the way you do things, man. Like, you literally grabbed his leg and dropped him right on his back, and this man just held you from taking a big fall. He knew he was gonna foul you and everything, so it's wrong. I don't really think I did anything wrong to be ejected, but it is what it is.
And then just wondering, so back in the locker room, did you get to just watch the game on a monitor and wonder what that was like for you, knowing you couldn't go back in and help, but obviously they played pretty well?
I definitely watched it on the TV in the locker room, and that was cool. It didn't change any momentum that we have. I mean, my teammates went out there and applied pressure to them even more, and we let our game talk for us on the court.
All right, Dan.
Hey, Trez. Is it fair to say your kind of gripe was with Anunoby? It seemed like there were some other guys that eventually got involved in everything that happened over there, but it was mostly just what happened with Anunoby.
And my beef was with anybody who didn't have a Lakers jersey on, man. That's who my beef was with. So was that. Like, my teammate was sweep from off his feet, one-legged, after holding somebody up and dropping his back. So my beef was with anybody who wasn't wearing a white jersey.
Dave.
Trez, when you threw up the deuces on the way out the tunnel, who's that for? The refs, teammates, fans? Who's that directed at?
This was our first time having fans, man. So I think the fans did a great job of reacting to what I did leaving out of the arena. So I guess to them, they enjoyed it. I got cheers from it. And like I said, I didn't do anything wrong. I was defending my teammate who was, doing something right by helping another player on hurting himself. And, then you sweep a defenseless player after he just helped you up. So, I mean, is we just going to keep talking about this all night? My answer's not going to change. So, I mean, I don't really have nothing to give y'all from the game. So, I think my team did great. I think we shot the ball great. We got open threes and moved the ball, shared the ball well, and we played a great game plan. I don't really have much more to tell y'all than what y'all already know. So,
Thank you so much, Trez. Have a great
All
day.
right.
Thank you.
And now we have Alex Caruso, guys.
Warm them up for me.
Hey. Can you hear me?
Yep, we are ready when you're ready.
What's up, Tanisha?
How are you?
Good.
Great game tonight.
Thanks.
We'll start off with Mike Trudell.
Hey, Alex, the threes certainly jump off the stat sheet, but what was the defensive pressure that you guys put on them like tonight? Where did that energy come from, and what were you guys executing well on that side of the court?
We just try to carry over from what we watched on film from last game. Clippers kind of did that to us, and we weren't, whether it was early game or us just not coming out ready to play. Just playing, with a disposition, a team energy, team will of getting stops, playing physical, and sharing the ball. And, we came out and I thought we did a really good job of that to start the game and then carried it through for the win.
And then going back to the threes, do you think three-point shooting is contagious? That there have been kind of the Sacramento game, right? You make them all game, same thing this one. Clipper game, it seems like nothing's going to fall. What is it that you guys can do to create those threes even on a night where you're not hitting? How does that all put together for you from three-point shooting?
Yeah, I don't think it's makes or contagious, but I think ball movement, ball energy makes 3-point makes contagious. We're just creating great shots. We got extra passes. We're getting to the paint, spraying out to open guys, and depending on who's helping, we're just making good decisions for our teammates. And when you make plays for others, it's a little easier to shoot it, and usually they go in more.
Kyle.
Hey, Alex. Kyle or Kuzma said after the Clippers game that he wanted to see Talon make plays for others a little more. And Talon had 6 assists tonight. How does that change the whole offense when Talon is kind of looking for others and making passes?
Yeah, I don't even think it's just Talon, but I mean, speaking on Talon, he just has such a great ability to get downhill and get to the paint, right? He has such great body control and strength for his age. And then he has long arms to be able to get in there and finish when he needs to. But that's just part of his development. He's been such a natural scorer and natural ball handler getting to the rim that it's just part of his growth. And playing in the league, you realize what you can do, what you can get away with, and game by game, he's doing a great job of trying to figure that out. I think tonight just shows the growth that he's making.
Bill.
Hey, Alex. I'm wondering what kind of lesson you think can be learned from the way Mark has responded to the last week and the addition of Drummond and then the way he's been able to contribute over these last few games with Andre out.
He's a pro, man. He's been in this league for a number of years. He's a selfless guy, great teammate. That's part of the reason. I mean, everybody on the team is on this team for that reason. They're going to be great teammates. We know that the end goal is to win championships, and there's different looks for our team that are better. And some of these games, being able to stretch the fives out has been an advantage for us. So Mark's been valuable in that respect, and then just getting them involved. Like I said earlier, the more we hop the ball around, Mark is such a great passer, has such great IQ for the game that when we kind of play this way, I think it benefits him as well as the rest of the team.
Dave.
So you guys hit 17 threes against the Kings, 7 against Clippers, 18 tonight. Is that like the obvious that the Clippers are a better team in the standings? They could provide more of a lot of defense on the perimeter, or was it something that you guys got back to doing in this game that you did in the Sacramento game that was lacking in the Clippers game?
I think it's just our team consistency. That, and I mean, some days you make shots, some days you don't. You always got to take that into effect. Guys don't shoot 70, 80%. Some nights you're going to have a over 3 or over 4. You're going to be like tonight, 4 for 5 or make however many. So you're even in perspective of, it's a long season. Sometimes you make shots, you don't. Like I harped on earlier, we can make it easier on ourselves. I think we did a lot to I think we were just trying too hard against the Clippers to try and make something happen and make something work rather than just kind of trusting each other and playing through whatever they were giving us defensively.
Last question, BT.
What's up, Alex? How beneficial was yesterday's practice with you guys' defense? And when do you know at what point you can dive on the floor for a loose ball?
Yesterday actually, our practice was offensive focused. Because even through the Clippers game, we only gave up 104, 106 points, which is really good for an NBA team still. Top 10% in the league for defensive efficiency. So it was really more about our offense, making good passes, running through our different actions that we got, and that's probably why it carried over to the game today. We got great threes because that's kind of the stuff we worked on yesterday. As far as diving on the floor for a loose ball, it's kind of like every other thing that I do. Just trying to anticipate the play, whether it's a steal, rebound, an assist, or a shot. And the one tonight, I just realized I wasn't going to be able to outrun. I think it was Malachi Flynn. So just had to realize, jump on the floor, get the ball, and make a play.
All right. Thanks, AC.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Alex.
So it looked like we're still kind of waiting on another player to come through. So we're just waiting on that. Right now, I see 3 people out there in the audience. If you're just tuning in, I am live on the Lakers postgame. This is live on Out of Bounds with Corey Harrison. Just to kind of talk about a little bit more about the game. This was a matchup against the 2019 champions, the 2020 champions. At one point in the game, the Lakers did go up by 34 points. Toronto was able to get the game close in the game at just a 9-point deficit behind behind Pascal Siakam. So it looked like we got Coach Vogel. So it's good to.
Okay, we are back. So when you are ready, we are ready.
All right, Coach, we're gonna start off with Mike Trudell tonight.
Hey, Frank, I want to start with the defense tonight. When you guys are flying around at that level, what are the things that you look to first? Like, what are the indicators of defense being effective like that?
The disposition. How bad are we? Got embarrassed on Sunday against the Clippers. We were all on a long flight, angry about how that game went. And our mindset was to take it out on the Raptors, and we did.
Both with great ball movement and an angry, nasty defensive disposition. We executed our coverages with a high level of focus and detail, and we brought a great defensive disposition to the game.
Frank, Caruso was talking about for the 3-point looks, it's more about shot quality, and you've preached that, I know, all year. How do you square that at the same time as having a lot of turnovers? And do those, like, how do you have both good ball movement and then also a lot of turnovers? And how did that play out today?
Yeah, I mean, we had too many turnovers, but a lot of that was because they got down 30 and started junking the game up. Full court pressure, zones and switchings and traps in the half court. We didn't always handle it, as well as we needed to. But you're going to get easy buckets, or they're going to force turnovers in that type of environment. So when a team junks it up, it might have a higher turnover rate than normal. But I was happy with how we moved the basketball, did high quality shots, didn't settle for mid range, and as a result, we got hot from behind the arc.
And that's from one for me, quick. Just your thoughts on Mark continuing his play, Mark.
Yeah, he's been great. Like I said, his job is to facilitate offensively and to give us perimeter shooting and be a great screener. And he was all three of those tonight. And then obviously he's an elite defensive center. So he had a great two-way performance tonight.
Dave.
Frank, staying on Mark, so he scores the season high in points, ties the season high in rebounds, ties the season high in blocks. And before the game, you said you're hopeful you have Drummond next game against Miami. Does this give you something to ponder when it comes to your starting lineup?
No, we're going to start Andre. That's what we signed him here for. We feel like, first of all, we need to get him a ton of minutes to acclimate in our system with only X amount of games before the playoffs. And, he'll be our starter, But like I said, we said this from the whole time through. We need all three of those guys, and all three of them are really good players. They're going to help us win a championship. So, but no, it doesn't change that.
Kyle.
Hey, Frank, allow me to be the first to ask you post-game about Ben McLemore and what he brings to the group, and maybe if anything about your series against Houston last year informed your experience with Ben.
Allie, can I comment on that? Is it official?
It is official, yes.
Yeah, well, he's a guy that we had to know where he was at all times in that Houston series because he's such an elite shooter. And, like I said, we're trying to win a championship here. So as much firepower as we can get, as many weapons as we can get, we're going to try to get. And, Ben, instantly elevates our ability to knock down threes on the backside when double teams come and to play the drive and kick game that, the modern NBA is made on. So we're thrilled about his addition and looking forward to getting him, into some minutes and into our program.
Last two questions. Dan.
Hey, Frank. Two quick ones. Alex's sort of effort intent. You talked about and stuff like that. I think he's a guy who hit the floor for 2 or 3 different loose balls in that game. Well, I guess what does that bring to your group when you've got a guy selling out like that? First of all,
that's what we ask of our entire team. We want to be first to 50-50 balls. We want to dive on the floor. We want to be the team that's playing harder than our opponent every night. It's a number one habit that you establish during the regular season, and it becomes instinctual as the playoffs come around. You don't have to flip the switch or elevate your play. Okay, we always play that hard. And, Alex is just one of those guys that's how he plays no matter what the situation is. That's why we love Alex. That's why Alex has helped us win the championship last year. So it definitely elevates the group when you see a guy hustle and playing as hard as that. But it's what we demand of our whole group.
And then do you know when Ben will join you guys? Is the plan to have him for Thursday?
From what I understand, we still have to clear some things, but he's going to join us in Miami tonight, I think tonight. And, we won't have practice tomorrow, but he'll be available to, providing the testing goes as scheduled. He's been testing, and he should be able to join us right away.
And last, Jovan.
Hey, Frank. Keith has been in double figures in 5 of the last 6 games and 7 of 10 overall. What kind of offensive boost has he given you guys? Especially, it seems like earlier in games and kind of first quarters and first halves.
Yeah, he's been like the unsung hero of this stretch. I don't think anybody's talking about Keith's contributions enough, and it's not just on the offensive side of the ball. Like he scored the ball tonight. He's having to guard seemingly an elite sort of 3-4 each night, and doing a great job with that while carrying some of the load offensively as well. He got red hot in the first half from behind Mark, and the post and mid range. He was doing it in a bunch of ways, and his toughness provides who we want to be in terms of being a team of physical than our opponent. So it was terrific.
Thank you. Have a safe flight to Miami.
Okay.
All right, if y'all just tuning in, we're still live with the Lakers. They did get the job done tonight, 110-101 against the Toronto Raptors. I really would like for them to keep the pedal down on this team a little bit more. They let them creep back in, but they ended up getting the job done. All right, so it looks like we got Marc Gasol. Let's see.
Am I right?
No, I guess
Am I all
I'm
right?
sorry. Yeah, Joe, the right. Yeah. Okay. Okay, thank you.
Hey, Mark. How are you? All right, we'll start off with Kyle.
Hey, Mark. I'm wondering if you felt, in this stretch without LeBron and AD that you need to be more aggressive scoring, and is tonight sort of the product of that?
I think the ball's been more the last few games. I think the screening has been better. It's something that we talked about. Guys have been getting downhill and collapse the defense. And yeah, when a couple of guys are out and they're looking for your shot, it's not like I can make shots. Play in the post. I can pass the ball. I can do a couple things quite well.
Dan.
Hey, Mark. Curious for you, was there any extra juice going up against your old teammates? I think the cameras caught you with Kyle a little bit before the game. I know there's not everybody is around from that team you won a title with, but just curious for you what it was like going up against your old team.
There was some healthy trash talking from them, especially when I got scored on a couple times. I think by OG, and that always gets juices going a little bit. It's great to see them. As you guys know, when you go through a championship run with a group of people, and not only players but also coaching staff, members, trainers, people that spend that time with you. Through those times, that bond lasts forever. So immediately when you see them, it transports you to that time, and it's forever. So it's wonderful.
Dave.
Mark, statistically, this is one of your better stretches, if not your best stretch since joining Lakers, and it comes at a time where another center is going to be most likely healthy on this trip and playing. What can you do to keep the momentum or continue to impact the game if there's less playing?
I'm going to tell you this. I'm fully committed to the team. I'll stay ready when my number is called. I understand, we have to get, under acclimated to what we try to do to get back our two, main guys, Bron and AD, whenever they come back, and we have to get that group going and get some chemistry going with the first for them. I'll be ready, no matter what happens, no matter if it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, at the whatever position. If it's some nights I might not play, but I'll stay ready no matter what. I made that commitment. It's been a process for me to reassess the situation a little bit. But I'm, like I said, fully committed to this team. So whatever, I'll be ready.
Okay, last two questions, Bill.
Mark, along those lines, you said the other night that with a situation like this, you either accept the challenge or you move on. I'm just wondering, with the way you've played over the last few games, how much of that is you staying ready and being professional, like you were just talking about, versus maybe feeling like you have something to prove?
Honestly, when you play for quite some time basketball, like you always want to help the team and you always put yourself at service. But in my mind, I always think like, what can I do for the next guy? How can I help this player have a better game? How can I help this shooter either screen him or pass him the ball at the right spot when they want it? How can I communicate defensively so their job is easier? I never look at my game as as what can I do for me. Sometimes you have to be more assertive and look for your game, because that also helps the team. So you can be selfish by being too unselfish. And I've done before. It's not a bad problem to have, but it can be an issue. So when I get the ball now, it's like, okay, look for your shot, create something, and then if you don't have it, move it on.
Okay, last question, Zevi.
Hi, this is Chevy from Catalonia TV, Barcelona. May a couple of questions in Catalan to Marc. Marc, escolta, suposo que necessitaves un partit com, no? Una mica, t'havíem vist abatut fa un parell de dies en la roda de premsa, avui et veiem més somrient.
Sí, sobretot quan t'escolto.
Gràcies.
Bueno, és una mica el que parlàvem amb els companys, no? Amb els companys teus, que després d'uns dies d'una situació, d'un procés d'adaptació a la decisió aquesta, arribes a la conclusió que acceptes el repte que tens davant, que l'acceptes amb moltes ganes, que estàs preparat passi el que passi, i llavors un cop acceptes això, també la teva energia i el teu llenguatge corporal canvia.
I ja sé que estàs molt ficat amb els Lakers i tens molta feina aquí, però l'altre dia vam veure la presentació del Pau Gasol amb el Barça, envoltat de la família, i tu, com a germà, com a company de selecció espanyola, com a rival que has estat, suposo que també és important veure'l a punt de tornar, no?
Veure'l feliç. A mi l'únic que m'interessa és veure'l feliç, veure'l somriure, és l'únic que m'interessa. Entenc que per vosaltres és diferent, que el veieu com un jugador de bàsquet, per mi és un germà, i l'únic que m'interessa i m'importa és que el Pau sigui feliç, i així el veig feliç pel que està fent, el veig molt concentrat i molt dedicat al repte que ell també té davant, i ja està, és l'únic que m'interessa.
Thanks so much, Mark.
All right, so if y'all just now tuning in, we just had Marc Gasol on. We're waiting on another player to come through. Have not been able to ask a question as of yet. Maybe this might be the time where I'm able to actually get a question in. I do have one prepared, but if I don't, we'll try to do this again tomorrow as well. Also, if you're in the audience, if you want to come in a question that you want to know about the game or anything like that, like I said before, I can ask those questions. Just send those through the comments. Looking at the rest of the games in the league, let's look at right now. They have Detroit battling Denver right now, 109-86 to the score at the end of the third. Then you have, and in the first quarter, we have Milwaukee and Golden State. Their score right now is 26-28. Clippers playing Portland. They're up big. Starting the second quarter, 53-33 is that score. We do have a final score in Chicago right now. Chicago got it done against the Indiana Pacers, 113-97. Pelicans dropped one in Atlanta. They dropped big. It's 123-107. We also have a final score in Philadelphia, 106-96. Philadelphia got it done against Boston. And we have the Memphis game. It is concluded as well. And that score is 121-112. Memphis got it done against Miami. So will be a full slate of games scheduled for tomorrow. Timberwolves are going to be playing the Pacers. You got Wizards and Magic, Knicks and Celtics, Pelicans and Rockets, and Hawks. Definitely want to see that Rockets game. Definitely going to be that. We got the Spurs against the Nuggets, the Jazz, the Suns. So we definitely got a full slate of games scheduled for tomorrow. So we got somebody on now, Dennis Schroeder. Let's get back live to the post game.
Okay, Tanisha, we are ready when you are ready.
All right. Hey, Dennis. We're going to start off with Kyle Goon. All right, Trudell.
Looking forward to it. Hey, Dennis, I just wondered what you've noticed about the team's defensive culture and the way that you play on that end of the floor has built into it, and how that's sustained you for the last couple of weeks here.
Yeah, I mean, today we played, great. We played for another, move the ball, played with pace. Defensively, we got some stops. Shot a lot of threes, and I mean, that's what I've been talking about the last 2 weeks to y'all, and today we did it.
Dennis, what was your read on the situation with Anunoby and the ejection of Trez and just that whole thing?
I mean, it's unnecessary. I mean, I foul him hard. I mean, it's no easy baskets for me. Try to foul him, but still pick him up. That it's not a dirty play. And I don't want him to get hurt. I mean, clearly didn't get hurt, and I picked him up. And then after that, he just shoved me on my back. I mean, it's just unnecessary. And I mean, with Trez, I would do the same thing. Everyone in this locker room, you know what I'm saying? We are brothers, family. So after it happened that he got ejected, I went into the locker room during the game and I told him that I appreciate him. And I mean, I would do the same thing for him. So really thankful for that one.
Okay, Kyle.
Dennis, have you been able to see the replay of what OG did exactly? And have you ever had any kind of encounter even similar to that?
I mean, y'all see the video. I mean, I don't know what to say. I mean, he didn't get hurt. I mean, I just tried to foul him hard that he don't get an N1. That's it. I mean, that was my attempt. But what he is just unnecessary. Probably you got to go to WWE with that, not with basketball. So, I mean, this. Stops and just play with pace. You know, I think that's what we'll tonight. Play with pace, extra pass basketball, shoot a lot of threes, made a lot of threes. I mean, 13 in the first half. I mean, we was just flowing, and I think we just got to keep doing that. You know, keep getting stops, especially against Toronto and Miami. It was like swarm teams, try to pack the paint. You know, try to find the open shooter. That's what we did.
Dan.
Hey, Dennis, is there a way to keep that offensive rhythm going when the ball isn't dropping? You know what I mean? Like, obviously, in the first half, you guys made a ton of shots. Against Sacramento, you made a ton of shots. How do you keep that kind of energy and pace going when the ball isn't falling?
I mean, we still want to play the right way. Sometimes it's falling, sometimes it doesn't. I mean, we can control that we finding the open guy for open three, but we can't control that the ball is going in. But we're playing the right way. Sometimes we're going to shoot 3 out of 30 or whatever it is and lose the game, or still pull it off on the defensive end and win the game. But I mean, that's our culture right now. Try to find extra pass basketball and find good shots. And I mean, we've been doing it, keep getting better at it. And yeah, that's what it is right now.
Okay, last question, Maximilian.
Thank you. Hey Dennis, bei dir geht es ja gerade auch darum, wie es mit der vertraglichen Situation weitergeht. Wie ist deine Verhandlungsposition deiner Meinung nach derzeit?
Super.
Kannst du das ein bisschen ausführen? Warum?
Ja, ich bin in einer super Situation, aber ich will natürlich auch mal sehen, wie es aussieht, wenn ich mal komplett frei bin. Und damit ich mich mal nach 8 Jahren selber mal entscheiden kann, wo ich gerne hin will oder was ich gerne unterschreibe oder, weißt du, ich hatte das vorher noch nie in den 8 Jahren. Da hat immer das Team die Entscheidung und dieses Jahr habe ich das. Und wie gesagt, ich werde mich dann natürlich, wenn die Saison vorbei ist, meiner Familie hinsetzen und gucken, was das Beste für mich ist.
Thank you so much, Dennis.
Thanks, Dennis.
Ja.
Thanks, everyone. Allie, have a safe flight to Miami.
Thank you very much.
Okay, everyone, that's going to do it for the Lakers Live post-game show. I want to thank everyone for tuning in. Like I said before, I'm going to be doing a lot of these more frequently, just kind of get more people involved, the post games and things like that, just sharing the experience with everyone. Again, support from this podcast come from Manscaped. Make sure you use that discount code at the beginning of the podcast. I do have that information at the beginning. Make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube page. Follow me on Twitter. Everything is out of bounds. Just make sure that you are stay plugged in. I will try to start doing giveaways to the most active participants in the audience. So you just never know. It might be your lucky day if you go ahead start supporting and things like that. And then I start noticing you and things like that. We might start dropping some ways and things like that. So that will be all for tonight. Thank y'all for listening, and we're out.
Hey, what's up, Andre?
If you love the Out of Bounds Sports Podcast, we'd love for you to subscribe, rate, and give a review on iTunes.